Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Knicks have fired Tom Thibodeau. Can you believe it? The New York Knicks have fired Tom Thibodeau. How do you feel about this, Knicks fans? And I told you guys this was going to happen. I didn't say, now, let's be clear. I didn't say they were going to fire him. I said the media and the New York fan base was going to call for this man to be fired. I told you that. That's what I told you. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't know that they was going to go through with it. I didn't know that. I did not know that the New York Knicks would actually go through with the firing. I thought it was just going to be a bunch of propaganda. But I didn't know nothing was going to actually go down. Silly me. The New York Knicks have pulled the trigger. How do I feel about that? Well, hold up. Before I get into how I feel about that, the million-dollar question is, how do Knicks fans feel about it? I'm going to tell you guys how Knicks fans feel. And this is for everybody that's outside of New York. New York fans will rejoice and embrace this firing. Why? Because he didn't win an NBA championship, which in reality is idiotic. And the reason why I say it's idiotic, because like I told you guys before, only one person wins an NBA championship. Only one team wins an NBA championship. That's it. 30 teams in the NBA. Guess what? Only one going to win. 29 teams going home disappointed. One team is going to win. And if people took the same idea or ideology or whatever you guys want to call it as the New York Knicks did, I guess everybody be firing their coach, huh? The New York Knicks is foolish. I'm going to just cut right to the chase and say it. The New York Knicks is foolish for firing that man. This is a prime example of what I'm saying. Some people are just not used to nothing. And check this out. And because this goes beyond basketball, ladies and gentlemen. This goes beyond basketball. If you want something new, you have to do something different. That's how life works. I'll say it again. If you want something new, you have to do something different. So in other words, this organization has lost and lost and lost and lost. You bring Tibbs on, Tibbs begin to right the ship, and he begin to start moving his team in the direction of the right way. And what is his reward for that? You fire him. Are you serious? I can't believe this, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe this. You fired a man that helped your organization get to the NBA finals. To get to the NBA Eastern Conference final. My apologies, guys. You fired a man that get to the NBA Eastern Conference finals. Someplace that you guys haven't been in 25 years. So, what is the premises for firing a man? Because if that's the case, if you fire him because you don't like how he coached in the Eastern Conference, shouldn't anybody been fired for the last 25 years? This is ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you now, New York Knicks is finished. New York Knicks is finished. See, it's a lot of gripe going on in New York, even down to Tibbs. Not Tibbs, even down to the guy, Mikal Bridges. There was some point in the season where he had complained about the minutes that he had to play. Can you believe this, guys? He was complaining about the amount of minutes that Tibbs had him and his teammates playing. Now, here's a guy, right? He made $23 million this season. $23 million a season. and he's complaining about the amount of minutes that he has to play. Wasn't averaging 40 minutes a game. Wasn't averaging 48 minutes a game. But he complaining about the amount of minutes he made. This is what's wrong with the NBA, man. How do you give a man $20-something million, right? And the guy complains about how many minutes you have to play. Meanwhile, most of us, we work 9 to 5s, and we're on the job for 8 hours for not even 1% of what these guys are making. So, no, I can't feel sorry for an NBA player because he has to play 38 minutes a night. I can't feel sorry for you. Isn't that what you signed up for? You're crying about the amount of minutes that you have to play, and you guys are getting $20, $25, $30 million a season to play, 82 games in playoffs? And you crying? I'm going to wreck it. New York, you're finished. Who are you going to bring in that's going to do a better job? See, I hate people who want to win, but want to win on their terms. I hate that. I really, really hate that, because that's how things look when you go to certain schools. If you ever coach in a school or something like that, like let's say go coach in a private school, you may be faced with that. You may be faced with the what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember the word, but you may be faced with the challenge of wanting to win, but wanting to win in a certain way, which normally is like what? Oh, we want to win, but all the kids got to play. Got 15 kids on the team. They all got to play. Their parents pay $60,000 a year. They got to all play. So you as a coach, you got to figure out how do I play 15 kids and still win. Now, that's still trickled up to professional players. They want to win, but they want to win the way they want to win. I want to win, but I don't want to play over 32 minutes a game. I want to win, but I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't have to come in. I don't want to work too hard. I want to win, but I don't want to work too hard. This stuff don't trickle up to professional athletes. And it's ridiculous because Tibbs is just a hard-nosed coach. That's all Tibbs is. He's a hard-nosed coach. And he can't coach teams when you got guys who don't get paid some good money. Let me just say that. You put them on a team with some guys and they don't make their money, Tibbs is not the coach for them guys. You got to put him on a bottom feeder. He needs to be on a bottom feeder. He needs to be on a team that's not used to winning. But not just not used to winning, a team that's not used to winning, but really wants to win. Let me tell you guys now, man, New York don't want to win. New York don't want to win, y'all. I'm telling you guys right now, New York don't want to win. Because it doesn't take this long. What is the last championship they won? 1970 something? Like 71, 72? So you're telling me 82, 92, 2002, 2011. You're telling me 2021 didn't add 4 more years, 2025. You're telling me it takes that long to win another championship? They don't want to win. Because like I tell my own son, the difference between a winner and a loser is a winner finds a way to win and a loser loses with excuses. So, as a prime example, when the Knicks lost against Indiana, the prime example is they lost with excuse. Oh, they sat there and said, Cat wasn't playing good enough defense. How do you gauge that? How do you gauge the fact that he wasn't playing good enough defense? Who was he guarding who had this spectacular series? Because if you ask me, Brunson wasn't playing much defense. Because who was cooking in that series? Hallenberg, Newsmith was cooking in that series one down. Siakam, who, Brunson not going to guard Siakam. But it was the Indiana guards that was cooking in the series. But somehow, you're dealing with New York, they got to find a scapegoat. Who's the scapegoat? Cat. Who's the scapegoat? Tibbs. Meanwhile, Bronson walked away without a scratch. How can you sit there and say Towns wasn't playing defense when the Indiana guards was the one that cooked the Knicks. It wasn't, what was that kid named? What was the big man named? Turner? It wasn't Turner. Like Turner out there getting 30 or 40 points. It wasn't him. The only big that they had that was cooking was Siakam, and he's a forward. But then now let's look at their guards. Their guards is on fire. But no one ever says, oh, Bronson never played good defense. No one ever said that. You just made Towns, Tibbs, you made them scapegoats. First, you told Tibbs, you claimed about Tibbs not playing his bench enough. Then, when he did play the bench, what did they give you? Nothing. Last game, they had what? 20 points, the whole bench? Obi Toppin had 18 by himself for Indiana coming off the bench. This is what I'm saying. If you're a coach, and that's coaching job is open now, over there in New York, you're a coach, I advise you to stay away from that. Now, if you want a long career, if you just want to do it to say, hey, man, I coached the Knicks before. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean Thomas. Thank you. So if you just coaching to say, hey, if you doing this to say, hey, I coach the Knicks, then by all means. But if you doing it because you want a career as a coach, New York is not the place to go, baby. Because I'm telling you right off the rip, they fired this man, and he took the furthest this organization has been in 25 years. How the hell do I get fired? How? Any other team, you know what any other team does? They come back and they say, you know what? Next year, we're going to try to do better. That's what the average team does. They come and say, next year, we're going to do better. We're going to start preparing for next year. We don't fire the coach and start all over. That's how you know they don't really want to win. Because we're on the brink of making it to the finals. And instead of us trying to build on it, you take a step backwards by going to get another coach. Who's going to coach y'all? Who? And you do that why? Because you got players complaining about playing time? You got guys like Bridges, who's getting $24, $23 million a year, complaining about playing time? See, and let me tell you something. Here's the trickle-down effect. Bridges is up going into his last year of his contract. So I like to think that he has something to do with this firing. Because New York don't want Bridges to just walk after they gave up 5 first-round draft picks. They give up 5 first-round draft picks and the right to swap. 5. And they got the right to swap, I want to say 2028. So with that said, if he was to walk after next season, which is the last year of his contract, $24 million they owe him, right? Say he played out that year and he walked. New York would be like, damn, we lost. So I'm telling you something. Bridges went on a record in the middle of the season and complained about playing time. Who does that? You got some players that's complaining because they can't get in the game. You got this dude complaining because he's playing too many minutes. This is the downside of giving certain people big money. He's supposed to be Iron Man. You don't miss no games, Bridges. Get your ass in there and play. And you come in there complaining about minutes. Are you kidding me? When you won nothing. This man has won nothing. He went to the finals one time as what? Help me out, Sean. The 4th option? I think he was like the 4th option when he went to the when he was in Phoenix. And now you back and you're complaining about playing time? So New York is pressed because New York is saying, well, listen, if we let Bridges go, we look really stupid here. We gave up 5 draft picks for this guy. And let me emphasize that. 5 first-round draft picks. And AKA, they're not protected. These draft picks are not protected. So that means if the Knicks is in a lottery in 2027, 2029, 2031, if they fall in the lottery and they get the #1 draft pick, guess what? You got to give it up. Got to give it up, bro. So this is, I'm telling you, this is the reason why they fired this guy. He's too hard-nosed. And this is what I mean by somebody that want to win the way they want to win. They don't want to do what it takes to win. I want to win, but I want to win on my own court. That's a loser. That's somebody that don't really want to win. Because when it comes to winning, it comes down to sacrifice. So if it means that I got to play 38 minutes a game to win, if you was a real winner, you would do that. Kobe Bryant did it. And I'm not trying to compare Kobe to none of these bums on the New York Knicks. But it's a disgrace that this organization let this man go. It's a disgrace. This team is finally considered a contender. It's a disgrace. And here's the sad part about it. Here's the sad part about it, ladies and gentlemen. You know the sad part about it? New York had a strong opportunity to get right back there next year. We look at Boston. This guy Tatum's not coming right back. He blew his Achilles. I seriously doubt he'd be back for the beginning of next season. I doubt that. You look at Milwaukee. They talking about Giannis going here, Giannis going here, Giannis going here, Giannis going there. It's a lot of turmoil in there. They're about to lose some players. They may lose. They're going to definitely lose Brook Lopez, and they might even lose that other dude. His name will come to me, man. The big dude that broke the guy's jaw when he was in Chicago. So they're going to lose some players this year. Then you look at Cleveland. Cleveland, we don't believe you. You need more people. We're looking at you as a regular season team. You get to the playoffs and get slapped. Get slapped by Indiana. So now, Cleveland, you don't put yourself in a position where we don't believe you're real. Jay-Z said, he all right, but he ain't real. Cleveland, y'all all right, but y'all ain't real. So who else that leave? Nobody. That don't leave nobody else. Sixers? Your jokes. So New York, were they going back against Indiana? That's it. You stripping that bench up a little bit? You stripping that bench up a little bit? This is a joke, ladies and gentlemen. This is a joke, man. And I am disappointed in the New York Knicks. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, the New York Knicks have proved today that they don't want to win. They don't want to win. All they do, the same thing since I've been watching basketball. They lose, and they justify why they lose, and then they take a step back. That's what they do. And in closing, that's what I tell losers. That's what I tell my sons this very day. The difference between a winner and a loser is a loser lose with excuses, aka the Knicks, and a winner find ways to win. And with that, I'm Independent Rob. You are checking out Sports Savvy Magazine. Make sure you log on to sportssavvymagazine.com. You see the name down there, sportssavvymagazine.com. We got some real cool articles there. Make sure you log on to that. Check out the nice little articles we got. Very entertaining, very informative. Peace.